People always ask me, when do I need to take my child to see the orthodontist? I have a few important times that you should know. Let's find out. Because it's really important that you know these times in case your child has these type of bites. I just said it. This is the way I want to do it. I want to describe the times based on the bite that your child has. So let's go with overbite. Well, first off, check out our other videos because it's not really overbite, it's overjet that people are referring to. Remember, overbite, what people refer to overbite is where the top teeth are in front of the bottom teeth. Underbite is when the bottom teeth are in front of the top teeth. People talk about overbite. That term is actually different in orthodontics. When we talk about top teeth being in front of our bottom teeth like this, what people call overbite, orthodontists call overjet. When you have excessive overjet, what are the important times that you need to know? Can you guess? Is it A, you should take care of this when you come out of the womb? B, you should take care of this when your first permanent teeth start to come in the mouth? Or C, at or during, slightly before or during your adolescent growth spurt? D, when you're an adult? And finally, E, all of the above. If you selected C, during or slightly before your adolescent growth spurt, then you would be correct. Studies have come out more and more showing that the best time to try and fix excessive overjet is when your child is close to or going through their adolescent growth spurt. Because in many cases where you have excessive overjet, it's because your top teeth, your bottom jaw is back. And it's like, well, how do we get it to come forward? What we need is growth. Growth of the mandible follows height, right? So if we're getting taller, if we have a lot of height that we're gaining a lot of inches, getting taller, then likely our mandible, our lower jawbone, has growth that will happen too. So we're not gonna create bigger jaws, we're just gonna try and control the direction of the jaw growth and stabilize in a forward position that reduces the excessive overjet. Listen, if you get this time wrong, you're gonna be in trouble, okay? Let's say you chose D. When you are an adult, you're already done growing, at least in really significant ways. Most people, when they get older as an adult, they don't get taller. In fact, they get a little bit shorter and their faces change and maybe you look more mature, more rugged, but you're really not seeing any significant bone changes. Maybe you're losing bone density, that is. If you decide to wait until you're an adult, your options there at that point to fix an excessive overjet with predictability include taking out top teeth and pulling your top teeth back to the bottom, which you don't want. In many cases you don't want because it's the bottom that's back, right? But the only alternative to that is surgery. We're talking about like breaking the bones and putting it forward and screwing it into place. So don't do that. Now, what about if you chose the earlier options like A and B, which were right after you came out of the womb, or when your first permanent teeth start coming in the mouth? So you're only like 7, 8 if you're doing that option, or if you're really young, you can't even open you're barely opening your eyes. I hope you don't choose those options. Before, orthodontists thought that maybe you could fix something like that early on and bada bing, bada boom, you're done. But what we've realized is that any changes related to the excessive overjet correction, if you're trying to move the jaw forward, if you're trying to fix the jaw, okay? Trying to fix the jaw, and you get it forward, those changes go back. Right? They undo, they're lost by the time that you get to your adolescent growth spurt. So then you're doing it again. So that is why. Answer choice C is correct. Slightly before or during your adolescent growth spurt is the best time to fix your child's excessive overjet, or what people call overbite. Okay, now that's a big deal. We still have one more bite you need to know about. Okay, before we get to that, remember, share this with your friend if you know that they have excessive overjet. Don't let your friends go too far without seeing an orthodontist. Okay, so the other bite, underbite. When is the best time to fix that? Is it A, right after you come out of the womb? B, in between the ages of 6 and 8? C, during your growth spurt? D, as an adult? Or E, all of the above? We didn't even talk about all of the above last time, but pretty much it's not that. You could do E, meaning that you could try to tackle it all those different times, but if you're trying to go for like one and done, then you need to know the right time. Most often when you have an underbite, it is some combination of top jaw being back and the bottom jaw being forward. Sometimes the bottom jaw is really forward. Sometimes it's just barely forward and the teeth position are a little off because the bones are a little off and you're like, oh, it's just a small fix. The traditional approach for addressing some bone and teeth with an underbite is through the reverse pull headgear. Okay, so not the headgear to pull your top jaw back. In this case, it's trying to pull your top jaw forward and your top teeth forward so that you can go from here, underbite, to proper overjet or overbite, right? And the best time to do that technique where you actually see more changes, stable changes in a particular way, to the bones, right? To the bones, not just the teeth, between 6 and 8 years old. So answer choice B was correct in this case. Unfortunately, with underbites, if you have a family member that's like this, we've learned that these types of bites you can see them pass through the generations. And these types of bites, if you're a bad grower. In this case, what it means is that your lower jaw just keeps growing out, that would be a bad grower. Okay, if you're a bad grower, traditionally orthodontists have said, well, you know what, it's kind of, we might need to just wait until after we go through our growth spurt, become an adult, and then the best way to treat something like this is through surgery. I know it's really scary and it's not for everybody, but sometimes in truly bad growers, it just goes out, the best time is to wait until all the growing is done and then fix it through surgery, because you can fix it earlier, right? But what if it outgrows all the changes that you make? That can happen, and that's sad. The best way to figure out if that's gonna be you is by going to an orthodontist and watching periodically through x-rays to see if there's significant changes or if the growth has stopped, and then you do that fix. Well, there's one other time that I wanna talk to you about. Answer choice C, during the adolescent growth spurt, or specifically between the ages of 11 and 14, there is a new procedure coming out. It's called bone-anchored maxillary protraction. Basically, the same thing as reversible headgear, where you got the attachment on the face, check out our other video, and you pull the jaw forward through rubber bands. Well, in this case, instead of doing something that's removable, you can take off your face, you screw something into your bones, and you do the rubber bands in a similar way, and you actually can see some bone changes. Both of that technique plus the one that you do with the reversible headgear and pull forward, you can see bony changes, but timing is key. And unfortunately, with those types of growers, if you're a really bad grower, you can still grow out of the correction. And so you just want to monitor and be aware of your current situation, your child's situation as it relates to their underbite. So I hope this helps. Lots of information related to excessive overbite, what we call overjet, and the underbite and the appropriate time. Don't miss out. Go see an orthodontist, preferably me. I'm in McKinney and Anna, Texas. And if you can't find us, share this with your friend so that we can open your and your friend's eyes to the wonderful world of straight teeth and beautiful bites. That's all I've got. Just a little PFOing so you know where you're going. Packard out.